the middle one you just ended on there, pick up the next one, go in between those again. That would give you a little different pattern in the front. Let's see what that looks like. Okay. You can see that. So that's a little option there that you could do. Go in between. See, here you picked up 2, and here you picked up the other 2. If you can see what I mean. Okay. And when I would do this is I would go all the way to the top, and then I would bind off all the stitches all together, right up here, all together. Okay. Okay, the Kitchener stitch. Okay, let's imagine, for example, this was waste yarn in between here and I wanted to join them. Okay, so I would go in like this. I would come in here on your edge stitch, and go in here, the next one. Basically all this is following the path of the stitch. Okay, then you would go in this one here and through this one. And you pull these so that they'll be the same tightness, tension, whatever you call it, as your knitted piece. And you go to the next one here, go in like that, and the next one, hard to see because I don't have 2 different colors on, so I have to look for my stitch. Okay, then like that. Top one's easy to find. And you continue like this all the way across. And see, this one's a little loose, so you want to tighten it up a bit. You want to have all your stitches uniform across so that they're all the same, so when you take your waste yarn off and that, you won't see where your Kitchener is. If it's too tight, you'll see it. If it's too loose, you'll see it. Just simply follow the path of the stitches. Okay. You can have a look there. And this is my back side. That would be my waste yarn. But that's all there is to that, really. Okay. Back stitch, bind off. Okay, let's say these are open stitches. I haven't done this for a while, so okay. Start here. Okay, let's say these are open stitches, live stitches you call them. You go in that needle there, that stitch there. You would go in between the live stitches. So this would be my live stitch right here. So I would go inside that live stitch. Okay? You go like that, pull it through. then you would go in between that stitch and the next live stitch. And just continue across. And that seems to be wrong. That's not the stitch I was aiming for. Okay, this is it. I told you I'm leaving all my mistakes in. Okay, this is the back stitch bind off. This is your live stitches here. You go in the second one on the end there. This would be your first one. So you go in like that. I hadn't done this for a long time. Okay, cross like that. So now you have 2 live stitches in between there. Now you'll go to your next live stitch and into the last one you just went inside. Like that. Okay, your next live stitch. And the next one you just caught. The last one you just caught, rather. Okay, next live stitch, last one you just caught, go through. And this here is your back stitch bind off, and you just continue all the way across. And this bind off is very elastic. It stretches really well. I have a chain bind off there, that's why it's not so stretchy, but anyway, I think you can see that. That was my mistake there. I'll put my thumb over my mistake. Okay, I think you can see that. But this is really elastic. Okay. And this here is a chain bind off I have on here, and it's not elastic at all. See, I can stretch the fabric, but that doesn't stretch very well. Okay. Some people want to know how to cast on for knitting, hand knitting. Okay, so I have a little piece of, so how I do it, I hold my yarn like this, put my needle there, come back with my yarn and bring it over and like that. That gives you a loop. You do it again, bring the yarn over there, bring the loop over, and again. Okay, when you do this, you have to leave yarn at this end. This is your yarn that's going to be drawn up in here. And this yarn that you're got in this hand is your working yarn. This is the yarn you're going to be using. So on this end, you'll have to leave enough yarn so that you'll have enough to draw up. And I always leave enough also, if it's a sleeve, I'll always leave enough to seam my sleeve also, or side of a sweater. This is an elastic bind on too, or cast on, sorry. Okay, so now you can see I have, this would be my right side, and the stitches face that way, and that's my wrong side. They're bumpier on that side. So I have cast on 2, 4, 6, 8 stitches. And for the non-hand knitters again, if I was making ribbing, I would insert my needle there. I would bring my yarn over, and then I would draw through that loop. Okay? Then I would put my yarn over, yarn in the front, and I would put my needle in there, draw through my loop, and that will give you a 1-1 ribbing. Knit 1, purl 1 ribbing. You do this all the way across. You probably see my hand more than my knitting. So that's how you would do that. And then your second row, you would knit the knit stitches and purl the purl stitches. So now that I'm knitting that one, and I would put my yarn in front and purl my next stitch. Knit my next one and purl. When you knit and purl, you always have to move your yarn either to the front or to the back. That's what you have so far. And that's how I do my ribbing. I do all my ribbing by hand and then I put it on the machine. Okay, I'll see if I have time left on the tape to show you some things you can do on the machine. If not, well, goodbye, and I hope you enjoy.